back, everyone. This is another one of the videos where we, if you've seen them before, where we prepare to go away. So spend a couple of sad days before, a few weeks out before we go away. We've got Haulin the Hume coming up, so there's over 300 trucks going down the old Hume highway from basically where we live right down to Yass. So anyone in Australia would understand what I'm talking about there. But you go down the old Hume highway, which is through, basically a lot of it's on private property now, so you involve the new highway, the old one, and a lot of the old roads. So Mick's there washing. We just had a quick cool snack, like a short smoko in there, and Mick's washing the truck. I'll be taking that one with the flat top on it. He's washing that, and then he'll be taking this one and we'll get that out and wash it. And then this one here will be going as well. My dad drives it, but we're going to put a new set of tyres on the drive of that one just to make it look more respectable, like we care about it, which we do, but two, it makes it look a lot better, and there's less dramas if you do get pulled over, which they've been on there a long time, so they're all older. Just a bit of a mixture of stuff we found. It's got good steers on it, but just stuff we found off other trucks when we got this one. It's been going for years like it, so you can tell the difference. And set of nice drive tyres to basically a fruit salad there. I think there's 3 or 4 tread dip patterns across the range there. I'm just going to go down. We've got priced about $300 a tyre for clean skin 11R22.5s. That includes mounting it and getting rid of the old case. So these ones here are still roadworthy. Some of them they look a bit bald now, but they're still full of mud when we parked it last time. So we'll get the good ones off this, so we can put them on a trailer or something. Then I'll go through all the wrecks down the back, and anything that's had it, we may as well just put it on this and run it down there. Then once they're taken off, that bloke can get rid of them for us. So I'll go for a drive now while Mick's doing that. See what wrecks we got down there with some nice tyres on them. So what we're after is, after 11R22.5s, we don't use 295 here because they look ridiculous. They're too wide. I have put them on before, but it doesn't suit the 11Rs. They're a lot wider, as I said. You can tell straight away if they're a 11R22.5 or a 900 or a 1000. 900 and 1000's a tube. Without even walking near it and reading the tyre, you can just tell the rim's flat. You see that because to mount the tyre, you just slide it off the rim because they're a 3-piece. They've got a locking ring and then another ring on the other side for the bead to seal on. So those are tube tyres. Probably 900 and 1000 on this one. It's a 900 on the steer. We're not interested in those ones for this particular truck they're looking for. They're the same, they'd be 900s on that Acco there. This is the other side of one of those flat rims you can see on the steer of this one. Well, that one's the same, I should have showed you that. These one are a 2-piece rim. You see where you take your split ring off there. They've got to be fitted properly or they can blow out and really hurt someone. So those are tube tyres. 3-piece ones like the Volvos. I think they're 4-piece actually. There's one I was talking about before, but original Volvo wheel were like this whole slimline in the shed there. So there, all the good trucks have got bloody 1000s. All the older ones come out with 1000s on them. These are all 1000s. You can see the flat rim there. They're the same on this old 8-wheeler. There's Louisville that have 11Rs on it, but they're all, I mean, I wouldn't run them on the road, they're that old, but they're still good tread for around here. So, but you can see the rim there, for those of you who don't know. It's got the dish in there so you can mount the tyre. That's the difference. That's on an old LNT. I've got another LNT here. She's got a That's got some terrible ones on it. Maybe we can take that one up. And believe it or not, I use this truck when the fires are on. I actually done a few sneaky loads out of the river with it to fill my dam up. I actually had a 3070 Acco, for those of you blokes that know them. It's an international, basically later cad to them butter boxes there, Australian truck. It was a 903, but she dropped a couple of liners and I put one in it and then another one leaked, so it was on the road. I wasn't interested in getting it going again. I just didn't want to spend the money all the time. I sort of, hindsight, I wish I'd have kept it, but it was a rigid. I'd like a 6 prime mover one of those, but because it was going, I ended up selling it and putting the tyres across all these trucks that she had on it, just so I could keep the good tyres. So basically, I mean, they didn't go on this, but this old arm model here, they were off that Acco. And I think a few of them old Pantex down there. Here's this cedar I just picked up. I've got to start for you blokes too. Yeah, so I mean, there are a fruit salad of tyres. You can see that outside one there's a 295. You can see how much wider it is in that 11R there. So they actually complied here in Australia to get it past Rego because they got tread on them. But that's Josh's Volvo there, 1000s. Looks like she's got an 11R on the steer, which is a good choice. Steel radial. And these other ones, this one here's got the Volvo's got a, I don't know what you call it, it's like a 3-piece rim. Just the actual rim itself is 3-piece, and then they've got the split ring to hold it all together in the tyre. I'll show you one of them up in the shed if I remember. I've got a Slimline G88 up in the shed, same as that one, but day cab. It's got those Volvo rims on it. This little Haulin here is completely different, it's full of water. That end of there would have 900s on it. Austin would have 900s, but they're steel rims, bud rims. The old Transstar here looks like she's got, it'd have a mixture I'd imagine, but it's got 1000s on it, which what it would have come out with. And then some of these here on this old triaxle are off that 3072, so these here would just be perfect for an old flat top or something if we register another one, which we are. That's coming up. That's a flat one. If any of you seen that episode we put on, there's a couple there we could probably put on. That one there's fucked. That one there's flat. They could go two there. That's one side of that truck already, just for those two axles there. So. But that'll never see the road, that one, so I'm not overly concerned about it. An old flat top here's got 1000s on it. These are all, they got tread, they comply with our rules over here. They'd work on an old flat top on Club Rego, so I'll leave them alone. They're all pumped up. A couple of 295s, but that won't matter for a trailer. They just look shit on a drive. Old G89 Volvo here. I've already been through it. It's got 11Rs and 1000s on it. That's a 900 on that. They're basically on it just so I can drive it around when I'm having a couple of jars, but I haven't driven it for years because, as you can see how long it's been parked here. That'll be another episode for you lot if you're interested in that. But to drive it, I've got to move these trailers. So, old Mercedes here, it's got 11Rs on it, but they're European rims. They won't fit the Spider hubs. on these old trucks we're running, so that's out of the question. I think that LNT there is the go. Got another old Kenworth over there, she's been cut in half. It's only got steers on it anyway, so only going to get 2 off it, which equals to 1 set of jewels. I got this one here for half price. Here's another Acco here. This one's got 1000s on it. I started doing it up till I realised I wanted a twin steer chassis. You'll probably hear that in another episode anyway. This here's my mate Josh's. This was an N12. Got 11 R's on it. Had super singles on the steer of this one actually with chrome rims. She looked quite smart. But I've already put, oh no, looks like she got 1 shit box on her, but we're actually going to cut this in half and make a dolly out of it for a farm trailer for my other mate, so I've already attacked it. I'll pull the fuel tanks and everything. This one here, I'll feature it in another episode of will it start of a particular white superpower I've got, but and I'll explain it again, same as I'm going to now. But Josh and his dad was the one who drove the little tilt tray for me. If those of you have seen that, picked up the van and the Zeta tractor. They went and picked up this white superpower that Josh and I bought many years ago, and I got her out of Wiseman's Ferry here in Sydney, outside of Sydney, Hawkesbury. Picked her up and they come up out of Wiseman's and pulled up to check the load. That old crane out there, the superpower, you'll see it, will it start episode I'll do on it real soon. So it weighs about 8 tonnes because of all the counterweights and the crane and everything on it, probably more. And I had my flat top on it, the old bogey one over there. All it did was melt the ropes off the loading board on the front, but when they got back in her after checking the chain, she was alight under the dash. And then all plastic and fabric carpet in these Volvos, the interior, up she went, and they couldn't save it. They just stood back and let her go. So that was a very smart looking truck. There was only, from what we believe, there was only 3 of these brought into Australia. So she got the 12 litre in it, which is a TD120, sorry, rated at 320 horsepower, 16 speed Volvo with a single drive. Now, I believe they were test trucks to see how they went over here. For those of you who've been into trucks in Australia for a long time, you would have remembered years ago there used to be one racing around Oran Park, and a lot of the truck circuits around Australia here, Rodney Creek, was a Volvo that used to do very well with it, winning a lot of races. But so that it was one of them, this was one of them, and the other one was wrecked also, we believe, but I forget the exact numbers. It was N12, maybe 1.5, but yeah, it's such a shame. He had a nicely signed, written, and you know, it's just too far gone for us. Like all the aluminium stuff's melted off the engine and the radiator, and the bonnet's obviously fiberglass. It's completely gone. I'll try and insert a photo here of what she looked like, not on fire, but what she looked like when she was running. So those of you may know Volvos over here in Australia, you might be familiar with that racing one. Well, this was one of 3 of that. That's what she was called, one of 3 for that particular reason. But so when that burnt, that's when he bought the G88, and hopefully he does something with that. Now, these 2 trailers here are registered. We can't touch the tyres on those. Excuse me. We got this old crane here. She got the bogey under her. This float here's got bloody, you got little tyres on it. It's completely different. 750s, I think. Got the old crane here. She got 1000s on her with different rims. It's got 38. I thought they were 38,000 pound Rockwells. They might be 34s, looking at the bloody drive end of the drive axle, but they're Dodge spec. They were out of a Dodge. fitted from factory, not out of a Dodge, but Dodge spec. But they're 1000s on steel rims, and she got the European front axle under her. Well, I think it is, because it's got the mighty Haulin 680 Power Plus in her. Runs beautiful. I actually used it when we were building the house to do a retaining wall behind the, and I'll start her up for you one day. So out of all them tyres, mostly they're either good or they're bloody 1000. So that Ford there would be the go, because I think I'll do something with it one day. If we get the channel to a stage where I can back work off a bit and do some more restorations, I'd love to get this one on the road. 903 in it with the 15 overdrive, 44,000 pound diff. This one's the same, different later model, different model. That's featured in another video. If you want to see that run, just go back through the channel, you'll see it. Sister and my brother-in-law are actually thinking of getting that one going. It's a beautiful truck, everything's beautiful, chassis, everything. It just needs a cab. The cab is shot, but it's got beautiful running gear in it, so that'll be another one. Certainly be episodes if we get that going. So I'm gonna go up and run this by the blokes and see what they want to do with the tyres on this one, but half of them are rooted, so probably a good thing to put them on. Even if they don't get used on that truck, we can raid them later for something that does need them. This will be mostly a talking episode, but we might do some work, so if you're not interested in that. It shows around the trucks I've got up the house here too, looking for tyres, but they're all, you can see there, that inside one on the front dual there's looks like 11R, but the rest are 1000s. And that there's a 1000. That's 11R rim with a 295 on it. You can see how wide it is. These work, this truck works, so it's another one on the steer there. We'll leave this truck together because it all works. It's an old early R600. I'll see that working. There's plenty of videos of me using it. Got another old Transstar here. Again, want to see this running. We did a first start of it. I think it was run on 5 cylinders. You got the 8B71 in it. This is, you got the original rims on there, or 1000s. I'll leave them on it because I'll restore this one properly. To my ability, I'll leave rags on it. They suit them better when they're done properly. So. Another Transstar here, DCF 400. She's got the 11R on the steer. It's got 1000 on the drive. You can see there's a drive there. An old 8-wheeler here, Kenworth. She's got 11Rs with their stones. Got good tyres on it. They can stay there. Another G88 Volvo here. Probably haven't seen this one. Oh, she's featured in just N7 video, I think, to show various stages of rust. Some of them are in here, but these are these rims I was telling you about. And they've got a split here. There's three equal pieces. You can see another one here, another one here. Then they've got the ring on the other side, so they'd be a bit of a headache, I'd imagine, to mount, but that's what she'd come out with. This got a full set of them on the drive. The steer, I'd imagine, is the same. Being original. I certainly won't be touching that, because one day if I get the time I'm going to restore this, I want to get it at least to a going stage. And I'd like those original rims on it. That's about all we can really raid at the moment. Wheelie's got good tyres and get it registered as soon as I can, so we might get this one going now and take it out and see what condition the tyres are really in, which ones we've got to change, and See if we've got to bring that forward up or not. So everyone, we're going to start this one up. If she goes, we've got battery cable problems, and run around in the shed and see what tyres it needs. I'll cut her off with the key this time. Right? Yeah. Blokes are taking some tyres off this one. Just had some shit ones on it. We're putting them on the Kenworth to get rid of them. We'll put the good ones on this if we ever need them. They're still in stock then. And I'm going to take the tractor down. I'll pull a couple off one of them Pantecs and bring them back. Carry them up with this and go back down and get 2 more. So we need 4 more really at the moment. Just having a cool quick one here. Okay, welcome back everyone. It's Saturday morning. Today we're going to take this one to get the tyres put on it. So I've checked the oil and water. We're going to see if we can wake her up. And then she's going to wake up everyone in a 500 metre radius. So, see how it is. We'll see if she goes. It's a bit cool this morning, but good. I haven't taken you all in this one before, and it's camera setting on. Haven't taken you all in this one before, so do an in-cab ride a bit, but it's not the best thing to drive. It's torsion bar and it's without a trailer. It's pretty rough, so the footage will be shaky and. Anyway, that's all we can do, and I won't be driving it on the run with the trailer on it, so I'll probably get a few outside videos of it. I'm back, everyone. I didn't film the process because those blokes are on a mission, and I like to ask people before I film them, and I didn't really want to bother them with a silly little question like that, so I left it. But you can see the result there. I drove home trying to wear them stickers off, but they're still bloody on there. Won't matter. They look a lot better. We're going to paint the wheels, the rims, the silver frost on them just to brighten her up a little bit. I've just given her a degrees now. Wash a bit of oil off that Detroit there. No, they leak a lot. It's a fairly rough ride. The road was rough as buggery, and then I'd say that they've pumped them up 100 psi where they should be, but we generally run him about 75 to 80 on these because we never loaded, and they ride a lot better. Only hit the road about 3 times between here and there. Everything fell off the dash, but anyway, we're here. I'll give her a gurney now and put her back up in the shed. We'll have to loosen them all back up and true them up. They didn't do that. They're wobbling all over the place. I'll do that. Not a lot else to do to this one, really.
How'd you go with it, Jam? Oh, it's not the best without a trailer. It's alright. It's alright. Can't change here as good like that.
Okay everyone, we got the wheels off. They were all wobbling when I got back, as I said, but we pulled, once we loosened all the nuts, we pulled the outers off and put some paint on them, so just to tidy her up a bit, and then we'll true them all up. The thing's running now, obviously, to build air up. You can see how much better they look just with a bit of, it's not silver frost or anything, it's only just silver paint, so it's not chrome bright. They look a lot better. True those up. We'll move this one out, put the flat top in here. Okay everyone, we're in the old white now. We're going to see if she goes. It's the following weekend. She sat here for a week. We're going to hook the trailer up, and then we're going to load up the old AR160 International that some of you may have seen. I put the auxiliary transmission in. I've got Jay's coming with me today, but he can't come in the truck on the road because he's not old enough yet, all that way. We'll see if she goes. I've already checked her over. Tomorrow's the big run, so we're setting up this afternoon. think we're ready. The old interloaded up. I'm taking this one. My daughter, she's coming for the first trip with me, Chloe. Mark's not driving that old Inter, she's a petrol and it's got I think it's got an overheating problem, head gasket. Mick's driving the old Kenworth there. Got my uncle's float on it. Dad and Nick will be in the old quick as air here. I'm just having a quick briefing here, all the blokes. The dogs.
What was he rattling on the other night? Pubs here and pubs there.
They're all ready to go.
He said you can stop here, you can stop there.
Ready to go, Chloe, in the morning?
Yeah.
Ready?
Yeah.
Dad?
Oh, we don't was talking about coming, but
Camp? Camp. That's it. See you in the morning.